In the previous episode, we saw that conventional truth is the raft that leads us toward ultimate truth. We cannot throw it away before crossing. But how do we know when the crossing is complete? Is an intellectual understanding enough? Or must every hidden doubt and attachment be removed? This brings us to two important ideas: the suchness of what is and the exhaustiveness of what is. Now we come to a difficult but important part: suchness of what is and exhaustiveness of what is. In simpler language, suchness points toward ultimate truth. It means seeing all dharmas as one seamless reality, merged into true suchness. Exhaustiveness refers to contemplation within conventional truth. It means your observation must be complete, without gaps. To do this, we examine all conditioned phenomena from three perspectives: their gratification, their danger, and the way of escape from them. So, what is gratification? It is the attractive side of something. You like it, you enjoy it, you want it. For example, you may love your body. You like being healthy, strong, beautiful, alive. That is gratification. But the body ages. It becomes sick. It dies. That is danger. When you see that the thing you love inevitably brings danger, you begin to seek escape. This does not apply only to the body. It applies to feeling, perception, formations, and consciousness. If you cling to feeling, feeling changes. If you cling to perception, perception changes. If you cling to formations, they change. If you cling to consciousness, it changes too. As long as you cling to the five aggregates, when the five aggregates change, you suffer. This is why the Buddha teaches detachment from the five aggregates. Not because Buddhism hates life, but because Buddhism asks you to see clearly. If you hold on to something that must break, you will suffer when it breaks. Once there was a national teacher. The emperor respected his practice and gave him a purple robe. When the teacher was about to die, a ghost came to take him away. The teacher said, "Wait a moment, I will prepare myself and go with you." He entered meditation. His concentration was strong. Once he entered samadhi, the ghost could no longer see him. But although the teacher disappeared, there was still one tiny black dot. The ghost examined it and discovered that the black dot was the purple robe. The teacher still had a subtle attachment to that robe. That attachment became his weak point. So the ghost turned into a mouse and began biting the robe. The teacher felt pain over the robe and immediately left samadhi. Then the ghost caught him. At that moment, the teacher realized. The problem was not the ghost. The problem was the tiny attachment he still had not released. So he tore the robe apart and finally cut off the last bit of attachment. Then the ghost could no longer find him. This story is likely an allegory, but its point is clear. Contemplation must be complete. No leaks. No hidden exceptions. You cannot say, "I understand the five aggregates are impermanent," and then become excited when someone claims they have cultivated an immortal body. That means you did not truly understand. You understood partially. You still left room for exceptions. And as long as there is one unresolved exception, doubt remains. If doubt remains, the first fruit cannot be completed. The Samyukta Agama requires one to observe the five aggregates in all kinds of situations: past, future, present, internal, external, coarse, subtle, beautiful, ugly, near, far. In all these cases, one must observe them as not self, not different from self, and not contained in each other. This is demanding. You cannot personally see all future aggregates. You cannot directly see all aggregates hundreds of billions of light years away. You cannot directly inspect every subtle level down to photons and electrons. And yet the contemplation must be completed. How? Through reasoning, through induction, through deduction. If you only accept what is immediately visible as direct perception, then no one can realize the first fruit. Because the first fruit requires complete confirmation, not scattered fragments of experience. A researcher was asked, "Can scientists guarantee that gravity will not suddenly disappear?" The researcher said, "No. Gravity is a natural law derived through induction. No one can absolutely guarantee it will never disappear. And yet, does anyone live every day worrying that gravity might suddenly vanish? No. Why not? Because that doubt is no longer reasonable. Once a doubt is no longer reasonable, a principle becomes part of your worldview. And your worldview guides your actions. For a practitioner, when reasonable doubt has been removed, that can be treated as direct knowledge. Some people think the so-called small vehicle is only conventional truth. Mahayana alone is ultimate truth. But this view is mistaken. The Sravaka path can also abide in ultimate truth. It does so in 3 ways. The first is through the 6th view base. This is the divine, this is the world, this is the self. After death, I will exist in the next life, constant, unchanging, eternal, not subject to destruction. Here, divine, world, and self are all alternate names for the 8th consciousness. Because the 8th consciousness gives rise to all dharmas in the 3 realms, the 3 realms and the 8th consciousness are gathered into one true dharma realm. However, the Sravaka does not directly observe the detailed function by which the 8th consciousness gives rise to all dharmas. So this approach relies mainly on scriptural authority, not full direct realization. The second way is to observe the aggregates, sense bases, and elements as not self and not belonging to self, thereby realizing the absence of personal self. At this point, one sees only dharmas, not the 5 aggregates as a person. One can transcend form, name, and discrimination. In this sense, the Sravaka can abide in ultimate truth. The third way is to correctly observe the aggregates, sense bases, and elements as suffering. Every moment of sensory consciousness is regarded as painful, as if the body were being pierced by a spear. Psychologically, the practitioner cuts off the impulse to continue grasping at seeing, hearing, knowing, and experiencing. They often abide in a state without coarse awareness or examination. This is the remainder nirvana realized by an arhat. So ultimate truth is not reserved only for bodhisattvas. Sravakas can abide in ultimate truth. Pratyeka Buddhas and bodhisattvas, whose wisdom is subtler and deeper, can certainly do so as well. At the end of this section, we can summarize the discussion in 6 important principles. First, conventional truth and ultimate truth are both Buddhism. Second, conventional truth corresponds to form, name, and discrimination. A proposition recognized by wise people in the world is called dharma. The opposite is non-dharma. What we usually call Buddhism, or conventional truth, generally refers to dharma within conventional truth. Third, ultimate truth does not correspond to form, name, and discrimination. It is the non-discriminating state abided in by supramundane sages. It is free from the distinction between dharma and non-dharma. Fourth, only when contemplation based on conventional truth is completed can one turn into ultimate truth. Fifth, the non-discrimination of ultimate truth does not obstruct the distinctions made in conventional truth. Sixth, one must rely on ultimate truth in order to realize nirvana. These 6 points matter. They determine whether you understand Buddhism correctly. If you cling only to conventional truth, you become trapped in language and concepts. If you deny conventional truth, you destroy scripture, karma, practice, and the path itself. If you shout about ultimate truth without completing conventional contemplation, you are like someone who throws away the boat before crossing the river. Buddhism is not telling you to escape reality. It is not telling you to cling to reality either. It is telling you to see reality accurately first, and then enter a state no longer bound by form, name, and discrimination. This is why the 2 truths are so important. If you cannot distinguish them, You will misread the Heart Sutra. You will misread the Diamond Sutra. You will mistake emptiness for nihilism. You will mistake non-discrimination for moral blindness. You will mistake even the Dharma should be abandoned for there is no need to study the Dharma. And in the end, the problem is not that Buddhism is too deep. The problem is that you started with the map upside down. So when Buddhism says everything is empty, it is not saying nothing exists. It is not saying karma does not matter. It is not saying there is no need to distinguish good from evil. It is saying, from ultimate truth, all dharmas are empty of fixed, independent self-nature. But from conventional truth, you still live inside karma, language, body, relationships, responsibility, and choice. You cannot skip conventional truth. You can only enter ultimate truth through conventional truth. Next, we move into a sharper question. If a form of Buddhism can still lead many people to realization, it is called the true Dharma. If only a few can still realize the fruit, it is called the semblance Dharma. If no one can realize the fruit anymore, it is called the Dharma ending age. So here is the question. The Buddhism we see today, which one does it most resemble?